Karate has katas for weapons, such as the sai and the nunchakas, as well as for the empty hand. The kata you are watching is a Shorin-ryu kata called Bo Shodan. Bo is the Japanese term for a fighting stick. Shodan is the first rank of the black belt. The kata is performed by Charles Bonnet, a 6th degree black belt in the Shorin-ryu system.
You can relate the kata to sort of what the boxer would do as far as shadow boxing, more or less. It's equivalent to the same thing. Of course, the kata has a deeper meaning, a more spiritual meaning, because what you're doing in a kata, of course, is you're training yourself spiritually to perform these movements. And each movement has, of course, its own meaning. It was meant for a certain purpose. I would say that the kata is like the dictionary of a martial arts system or style or whatever. But what I've done throughout my 15, 16 years of karate study is that I've studied the kata and I've derived what I think is the best things to apply. The kata is good to develop the fluidity that you need, the power of concentration. It's good for building up, the body as far as muscles are concerned. A lot of martial artists don't like to lift weights because it tends to tighten the muscle, and it doesn't really do anything for you as far as flexibility is concerned.
Sensei Bonnet believes in kata. He does them as they are meant to be done, with precision and speed, grace and power, with utter sincerity. When you have seen this man perform a kata, then you begin to know what karate is all about.
All life is combat. From the time you get out of bed in the morning to the time you go to sleep at night, either verbally or physically. The universal law is positive begets a positive, and negative begets a negative. And universal principle is cause and effect. Life is a circle. What goes around comes around. I'll be careful what I say and what I do. To me, playing the violin is martial artistry. It's just another way of communicating my spirit to the listener, to the senses. I think as one develops in your higher Dan level, you begin to see the relationship of everything to everything. I think one of the greatest bits of philosophy that ever was said was a phrase, not by anyone necessarily famous, but just a phrase that comes out of the ghetto. It's called everything is everything. And if you really look at that phrase, you'll see that that phrase is a complete 360-degree circle of understanding.
John Blair, musician, philosopher, karate man, the Renaissance man of the American karate world. Ever since karate came to America, there has been controversy over the place of women in the martial arts. Some instructors refuse to even allow them in the dojo, while others accept them willingly in their classes. Elsie Roman is a student of Frank Ruiz and a black belt in the Nisi Goju system. Sensei Ruiz has said, and we quote, "In my school, we don't have male black belts and female black belts. We just have black belts." Watching her work out with Wilfredo Roldan, we had to agree. Elsie Roman is a true black belt. The real future of martial arts in America rests with the youngsters. It is out of the ranks of the kids who are starting out today that the great karate men of tomorrow will come. This is Nelson Taylan. He's 8 years old and a green belt, a student of Bob Long. Though he's only been studying a year, already he possesses the intent eye and studied motion of a young master. He performs a kata with the nunchakas, an Okinawan weapon. Sup Kim is a student of Ron Van Cleef, a first-degree black belt at the age of 13. Sensei Van Cleef says of him, "I wish I'd had the moves he has when I was his age. He'll be one of the best before he's 20. Up to now, everything you have seen has been real. Now let's take a look at the fantasy world of the movies, where the karate man is invincible, where children can defeat grown men, women can destroy armed opponents, where one man can defeat 50 men without working up a sweat. So let's go to the movies. street fighter. If you decide to pull a gun on him, you better be quick. The street fighter. One man against crime. One man against the hard drugs of the neighborhood. A man against corrupted police. Of studying martial arts in school, he gets a chance to use it on the street where it counts. This is the street fighter. He looks like an ordinary guy, but mess with him, and it'll be the last thing you ever do. Rough, tough, and dirty. After the death of the Dragon comes a new American superstar. 16 years in the martial arts, 7th degree black belt, and 4 times world champion. Introducing Ron Van Cleef as the Black Dragon. We said enough. Now we'll let him do the talking.
Are you clean?
The Black Dragon. Rougher, tougher, and stronger than anything you've seen before. None of that jumping around and flying through the air, because this is the real shit. The Black Dragon. Also starring Jason Paipal, the flashiest kung fu fighter of the Orient. His style is smooth and deathly. His words are few but final. Also starring the Latin terror, Jorge Estraga. Watch out! With cat-like speed, you know he takes care of business real quick. Ron Van Cleef and Jason Paipal, a 1-2 combination that's hard to beat. And when we say quick, we mean quick. The Black Dragon. Big mothers are his specialty. A blockbuster of a motion picture. From the world of fantasy, let's turn to reality. The famous Frank Ruiz knife defense performed for you by the master himself, Kiyoshi Shihan, Frank Ruiz.
I will not fight a man for the sake of fighting. I will fight to the death for principle. Even with my experience doing this knife fight, I've been cut twice. We're using a live blade and he's really coming after me. If I thought he wasn't coming for me or it was a rubber knife, I wouldn't even try. See, I wouldn't be at peak form. And the only way you can operate at peak form is to have it for real.
Alex +1 Sternberg, 5th degree black belt, performs the Impi Kata of Shotokan Karate.
A man can know karate, and he can be an expert. That doesn't mean that he's Superman, and it doesn't mean that he's invincible. And in our demonstration, we show that a man attacks with a knife, and you deliver a blow to this man, it doesn't immediately mean that you kill the guy. It's not so easy to kill somebody. Karate is not a physical art, not at all. Karate is a mental art. Karate is a system of thinking. It's a philosophy. It's to teach somebody, first of all, to control himself fully and to always have mastery of himself. Once you can attain mastery of yourself, it's relatively easier to master or to control your opponent.
Thomas LaPuppet, 5th degree black belt in Shotokan Karate, member of the Karate Hall of Fame, spokesman for the idea of karate for the black man, an American karate master.
Without karate kata, I feel a karateka's training is not fulfilled. Because it's something that you can go into the remotest of areas and just train until complete exhaustion. When a man can go and train where no one is watching, then he finds the true perfection of his dedication.
Senseis LaPuppet and Sternberg, old friends, close friends. Together they perform an exacting and dangerous demonstration of a karate man's defense against a knife attack. In this extraordinary demonstration, Tom LaPuppet breaks an unsupported 1-inch pine board in mid-air with the lightning speed and precise Sensei Pete Serengano gives us a few lessons in jiu-jitsu. The very sturdy fellow he's throwing around is his student, Bob Long.
Outside punch. Wrist grab. Grabbing the wrist, locking the thumb. Aye. With the throw. Striking to the yard. Striking empty shots through the sole. Once again, throwing. Collar grab. Locking the hand. Under the elbow, pushing in. Outside hand. Blocking. Roundhouse kick, catching. On the inside, striking to the throat area. Once again. Back of the head. Roundhouse kick, stepping on the inside. The bell grab. Locking in. Are you all right? Oh, yeah. Striking to the crown of the head. Coming in. Under the groin.
I went into the service. So I put my qualifications of what I've done. So I put down, you know, a little bit of jiu-jitsu or hand-to-hand combat karate. And they just sent me to a school. So never knowing I was going to go. So I went to school for 9 months for 9 to 10 hours a day. Training. I mean, training like there was no such thing as time for breathing. You trained and trained and trained, and they made killers at it. We were actually what you call a professional killer, because you press the button, we react. And so that's why I speak now, because I know what it's all about, because I've been there. I know what it is to take a life by using them. I know how hard it is to stop once you start. We were trained. There's no such thing as training as it is today. We were trained to kill and maim. It's not just for a sport. Now we train it as a sport. I've had a dojo now for about over 20 years. But I had to curb myself because my way of teaching was the wrong way. It was the way of a killer. The art is to help each other. The black belt is a sacred thing. This black belt is something that everybody doesn't achieve. And then that do achieve it, we must honor each other and help each other, regardless of what the price is. There's no such thing as no, because you're a warrior. You have to lay your life down for the man next to you, and that's the whole thing.
Sensei Pete Serengano, 8th degree black belt. He's sometimes called the old man of karate in America, but nobody calls him that to his face. Pete Serengano, warrior, teacher, friend, a man among men. We filmed Byung-Hung Park as he was warming up with his student Danny Doyle, preparatory to performing one of the most extraordinary exhibitions of physical prowess ever seen in America. Sensei Park has only recently come to America from Thailand, where he was head of the Taekwondo Federation. Taekwondo is the Korean martial art, and Sensei Park is one of its greatest masters, perhaps one of the greatest of all time. His demonstrations drew gasps of amazement from all the other great masters on the set, and these are men who are not easily impressed. Inches of solid pine boards. Blows like these could crack an opponent's skull like a watermelon. Sensei Park picked up these rocks on the side of the road on his way to this filming. What he does to them needs no description. most amazing demonstration of all. On the ground, a dozen broken beer bottles. The pieces of glass are razor sharp. Watch. What you are about to see is impossible. If anyone told you about it, you would swear it was impossible. You would bet money it was impossible. Nevertheless, you're going to see it here on the screen before your eyes. Professor Frank DeFelice is a master of jiu-jitsu and a student of the ancient Chinese art of qi, or internal energy. In the world of the martial arts, where the extraordinary is considered ordinary and the unusual is seen every day, Professor DeFelice consistently performs the impossible. He will accept what to any other person would be fatal blows to the most vulnerable and sensitive parts of his body and shake them off as though he were brushing away flies. First, let's meet the men who will assist him in his demonstration and get an idea of the power in their fist and feet. Ron Scott, second-degree black belt in Chinese Goju. Wilfredo Roldan, second-degree black belt in Nisi Koju. Teddy Wilson, fourth-degree black belt in Chinese Goju. Sensei Roldan shows you his power again. Moses Boone, third-degree black belt in Nisi Goju Karate. Once more, the power of Wilfredo Roldan. And now, Professor Frank DeFelice. Watch him. You will never forget what you are about to see.
It's called qi. Qi. It all means internal energy, power. You could consider it to be a life source. Without breath, you're dead. So So it's the breath inside you, the air, that controls the energy. At times you breathe heavy to do heavier things. At times you breathe light when you're doing nothing. So it's controllable. You begin from absolutely nothing, learning to control your breath just to be standing there. I can remember getting dizzy just breathing. Then you learn to direct it to different areas of the body. Mostly to the organs. I'd rather have a kick in the groin than a good professional hit me in the throat. This form of breathing that myself and these other instructors do, this intense, should not be taught to just anybody. I think it should be limited to black belts who prove themselves.
This is Joe Hess, 6 foot 4 inches, 240 pounds, and a third-degree black belt in Goju-Ryu Karate Do. Perhaps the most powerful man in the martial arts in the world.
To me is a weapon, somebody that doesn't know how to fight at all, that knew this, could stand right in your face and defy you to hurt him. I don't want people to get the misconception that if you do this, you can't be hurt. Because I believe that this form of ki, energy, there's definite levels of it. I'm at a certain level. My instructor is at a certain level. And I believe that if the time should come where I am punched by a professional that has, in his punching ability, more energy than I have in my absorbing ability, that, you know, where the weakness is going to be, it's going to be me. And maybe, fortunately for me, due to this time I have involved with this breathing, I won't be injured fatally, but I recognize the possibility every time I do it. I'm aware that I could either be dead or not dead.
Get ready. Yes, put it on. Back. No. For real.
And it's nothing in between. If you aren't up to the standards and you try to do it, you're as good as dead or you're on your way to the hospital. Because medically, the books I have state that people that do this are dead.
Once again, watch Teddy Wilson. Observe the power of his kick. Now you have seen the martial arts as they are in real life. You've seen the speed and power of the karate man, the grace and fluency and focus of the kung fu master, the calm and gentle courage of the aikido man, and the frightening strength and fatal effectiveness of the master of jiu-jitsu. You've seen the viciousness of combat and the serene contemplation of the kata. You've seen unparalleled demonstrations of physical ability and spiritual capacity. You've seen the indescribable, the incredible, the impossible. But most of all, you've seen the real, the unbelievable world of the martial arts, the ultimate weapon.
Ready?